Hi everybody, this is Crystal. So today I'm going to show you how to make this beanie here. Now what this beanie is you guys, if you've been following me for a long time or you're new, I don't know, you might have seen me wear this beanie right here a lot. It is my favorite beanie. This is my chocolate Bon Bon Beanie, and I do have a tutorial for it. And I will put it in the description box. Now it is made with a 4-weight yarn. So what I did is, my favorite yarn is a bulky 5. I made it with a bulky 5 yarn. So it's the same pattern, but I did have to do some adjustments and leave off a couple rows since it's made with a thicker yarn. But I really like it. I think it turned out nice. I like the color. It's nice and fall. So yeah, so maybe, I don't know, I wear this hat all the time. It's always been my favorite hat. It's a little worn out because I've been wearing it for so long. I just might have to switch it up a bit with this red one now, or rust colored one. That's pretty. I like it. So if you want to make it with the bulky weight, this is the tutorial for this. If you haven't yet and you want to make it with a 4-weight, look below in the comment section for the link to that. Like I said, same pattern, just a couple adjustments to adjust for the weight class of the yarn. So let's go ahead and get started on it. You want to? Let's do it. I do mention in the video that 130 yards is enough for the hat, and I'm going to tell you right off that it's going to take like almost all of 130 yards of a bulky weight yarn, probably like 128. So just to be safe, in case you crochet a little tighter in me or something, you might want to get, if you're using a bulky yarn, you might want to get a little bit more than 130. You can. I played yarn chicken and I didn't have much left. All right, for this project I am using Mary Maxim Aspen yarn. This is their Aspen yarn. It is a bulky and number 5. And let's see, the color I'm using is called a Fireside. I think there's about 130 yards per ball here, and one will be enough to make the hat. And it is 100% acrylic. Now I do have this exact hat that I'm making in a 4-weight yarn, and I'll put a link to that on the screen right now. And in case the link doesn't pop up, sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't, I'll put a link to it in the comment section. It'll be the first comment. I'll pin it to the top. It'll be this exact hat, only making it with a 4-weight instead of a bulky 5. And then I'm going to be using a size K, which is a 6.5mm crochet hook. And always remember, you do not have to use this yarn. Any bulky weight 5 yarn will work just fine. It will do the trick. So first off, we're going to start with a slip knot on our hook. And then we are going to work a chain of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I am going to slip stitch back into my first stitch to form a ring. Now some people like to use the magic circle here, and that would work too. I don't like the magic circle, so I don't ever use it. So there is my ring. You can go ahead and pull your tail a little bit. Now we're going to chain 1. Now that chain 1 doesn't count as a stitch. It doesn't count as anything. And we're going to be working through the center of this ring right here, and we want to work 12 double crochets. So we yarn over, and then we go through the ring, and you draw up a loop, and then you go ahead and do your double crochet. And you want to do that 12 times. So that was 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, once you make it back to the end of round 1, you'll have your 12 double crochets. You can usually pull your tail, close up that center circle a little bit more, and then we can sew it together the rest of the way at the end. So what we're going to do is slip stitch into the first double crochet, not the chain one, but the first double crochet that we made, and that'll end round 1. 12 double crochets is what we're going to have. So now we're going to start round 2. We're going to chain 1. Doesn't count as a stitch, doesn't count as anything. We're going to work right back here into this same stitch here that we just slip stitched into, and we're going to put 2 double crochets into that same spot. So there's 1 and then there's 2. So we got 2 there in that first stitch. Now we're going to work around for round 2, and we're going to be placing 2 double crochets into every single stitch all the way around until we get back to our starting point. So there's 2 double crochets into the next stitch, and 2 double crochets into the next stitch, and I will repeat this pattern all the way around until I get back to my starting point. Alright, I've come to the end of round 2, and you should have a total of 24 stitches now. So we're going to end round 2 by slip stitching into our first double crochet. Now we are going to work some post stitches for round 3. But first we're going to start off with the chain 1, which doesn't count as a stitch. And we're going to go right back into that same spot that we just slip stitched into, just like last time, but we're only going to work 1 double crochet into it, just like that. And now what we're going to do in the next stitch is going to be an increase stitch. So what we're going to do, we are going to put a double crochet into the top of the stitch, just like normal. And we're also going to put a front post double crochet around the post of that same stitch that we just worked the double crochet into. So right here is the stitch we worked the double crochet into. So we're going to yarn over and we're going to go around the post of it and work a front post double crochet. So actually we put 2 stitches into that 1 stitch right there. And now we're going to repeat that pattern all the way around. So we're going to go to the next stitch and we're going to work just 1 double crochet into it. And then the next stitch we will increase. So we will work 1 double crochet into the top of it. And we'll also work a front post double crochet around the post of the same stitch. So here's the stitch, yarn over, go right around the post of it like that, and go ahead and work a double crochet. And then you can kind of start to see your posts popping up. You'll see them better as we go. Now again, we're going to repeat that. So we just do a double crochet into the next stitch. And then the next stitch is our increase stitch. So we need to put a double crochet into the top of it. And we also put a front post double crochet around the post of the same stitch. Just like that. So I'm going to repeat this pattern all the way around until I get back to my starting point. Alrighty, I have made it back around at the end of round 3. Now your last stitch should have been a front post double crochet, and you should have a total of 36 stitches now. We're going to end by slip stitching into our first double crochet, like that. Now we're going to start round 4 by chaining 1. We're going to go back into that same stitch and we're going to do 1 double crochet. And we're going to work 1 double crochet into the next stitch. Now our next stitch is the increase stitch. You can tell because it has the post stitch there from the previous row. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a double crochet into the top of it and a front post double crochet around the post of the same stitch. And that's going to be the repeat for round 4. So 1 double crochet into the next 2 stitches. So there's 1 and there's 2, and then the next one is the increase because it's the post stitch. So we go into the top of it and we put a double crochet, and we also go around the post of that same stitch. You can see it's the post from the previous round, and work a front post double crochet. And this, we're going to repeat this pattern all the way around until we get back to our starting point. So 1 double into the next 2 stitches. There's 1, there's 2, and then we are going to do our increase stitch here. So we're going to put 1 double into the top of it, and then a front post double around the same stitch. So I'm going to repeat this pattern all the way around until I get back to my starting point. Alright, I've made it to the end of round 4, and I went ahead and ended by slip stitching into my first double crochet, and I have a total of 48 stitches now. So we're going to do one more increase round here. So what we're going to do is chain 1, and now we're going to go back into that very first stitch, and we're going to work a regular double crochet. And then we are going to go into the next stitch, and we're going to work a front post double crochet just around that stitch. No increase, just a regular front post double crochet around that stitch. And then the next stitch, we're going to do a regular double crochet. And then the next stitch will be our increase stitch. So you can see it from the previous round. It's our post stitch. So we're going to go into the top of it with a regular double crochet. And then we're also going to go around the post of it. You can see the post and front post double crochet. So that's going to be a repeat now for round 5. I'll go ahead and do it again. So we're going to do a double crochet into the next stitch, and then a front post double crochet around the next stitch, double crochet into the next stitch, and then the next stitch will be our increase. You can see here's the post from the previous round, so we have to go into the top of it and double crochet. And then we also have to go around the post of it and do a front post double crochet. Just like that. Let's do it one more time. So we're going to go ahead and do a regular double crochet into the next stitch, a front post double crochet around the post of the next stitch, a regular double crochet into the top of the next stitch, and then the next stitch is our increase stitch. So you can see it right here, this post. So we go into the top of it with a regular double crochet, and then we go around the post of it also with a front post double crochet. And that's going to be the repeat for round 5. So I'm going to continue around until I get back to my starting point. Alright, I have come to the end of round 5, and we should have 60 stitches now. And we're going to go ahead and end it with a slip stitch into our first double crochet. Now this is the crown of our hat. Now it's okay if it's flipping up. Post stitches flip up like that. That's fine. We'll take care of that later on. So I'm going to take a quick measure, and mine measures about 6.5 inches across, which is going to be just fine. So now we're going to go ahead and start round 6. Round 6 is going to start the repeat round of the pattern. So what we're going to do is we are going to chain 1. We are going to go back into the very same stitch, and we're going to work a single crochet. And what we're going to do is we're going to work 1 single crochet in every single stitch all the way around until we get back to our starting point. So round 6 is very easy. In case I forgot to mention, you should have 60 stitches at the end of round 5. I'm sorry if I didn't mention that. But round 6, we're just going to continue around and work 1 single crochet in every stitch until we get back to our starting point. Okay, I'm coming to the end of round 6, and you should still have 60 stitches. Now, to end round 6, we are going to slip stitch into the first single crochet, but we're going to do it in the back loop only. So you can see that the stitch has, I'll put both loops on my hook. There's 2 loops to your stitch. The one closest to you is the front loop, and the one furthest away is the back loop. We want to go into the back loop only and slip stitch. And that will end round 6, 60 stitches. Now rounds 7, 8, and 9 are all going to be the same thing. So what we're going to do is we are going to chain 1 and we are going to put one single crochet into the same stitch, back loop only. And then we're going to work around and we're going to put one single crochet in the back loop only of every stitch. So it's just a single crochet row or round, but we're working in the back loop of the stitch and not both loops. And that's going to create a little bit of a ridge or a texture, I guess, that you can see, just to add a little interest to the hat. So I will continue this around for round 7, and I will repeat it round 7, 8, and 9. They're all going to be rounds of one single crochet in the back loop only. And I'll always have 60 stitches now. Okay, I'm coming to end round 7. I'm just going to show you how we're going to end it. We're going to end it the same way that we ended round 6. We are going to slip stitch into the back loop of our beginning single crochet, and you'll have your 60 stitches still, and then you start again. So remember, we just finished round 7, so we're going to go ahead and do rounds 8 and 9 the exact same way that we just did round 7, and I'll meet back up with you when I've finished out round 9. Alright, I have made it to the end of round 9, and I still have my 60 stitches. Now what we're going to do different here when we end it, instead of ending with a slip stitch into the back loop of the first single crochet, we're going to end round 9 by slip stitching through both loops of that stitch. Just like that. And now we will start round 10. So what we're going to do is we are going to chain 1, and we are going to go back into that same stitch and work a double crochet. And now we're going to work around. We're going to be working through both loops now. One double crochet in every stitch all the way around until we get back to our starting point. So round 10 is easy. It's just a round of one double in every stitch. We're going through both loops, remember, until I make it back to the beginning. Alright, I have made it back at the end of round 10. I have 60 stitches, 60 double crochet. I'm going to end by slip stitching into my first double crochet. Now rounds 11 and 12 are going to be the exact same thing. So we're going to do 11 and 12 the same. So we're going to start off round 11 by chaining 1, and we're going to go back into that very first stitch, and we're going to do a double crochet. And then the next stitch we are going to do a front post double crochet, and then a regular double crochet into the top of the next stitch, and a front post double crochet around the post of the next. And that's our repeat. It's regular double crochet on top of the next stitch and front post double crochet into the next. Regular double crochet and front post double crochet. Regular and front post. So we're going to repeat this double crochet, front post, double crochet, repeat all the way around and finish out round 11. We'll end by slip stitching into our first double crochet. We'll have 60 stitches, and then for round 12 we'll repeat it again. It'll be the exact same thing. So I'm going to go ahead and finish out round 11, and then I'm going to finish out round 12, which is a repeat of round 11. And don't worry if your hat starts to flip up. That's normal with the post stitches, but I'll meet back up with you after I finish out round 12. Okay, so once you finish out round 12, we're going to repeat now rounds 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. We're not gonna do the round 12. We did it here, but we're not gonna do it here. Otherwise our hat will be too long. So I have already repeated that. And I will put the timestamps below in the comment section of rounds 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. And that way you don't have to fiddle around, you know, trying to find out what the rows are. Well, anyways, so it's exactly the same. We repeated it one more time, except for we left off one row of row 12. We left that off where we did another row of double crochet and front post double crochet. So right now, starting from the top all the way down, I'm on round 18, and I'm going to do one more round. So round 19 will be the finishing round. It's going to help these post stitches lay flat. So what we're going to do, we should still have our 60 stitches, is chain 1, go back into that same stitch and single crochet, and we're just going to work one row of single crochet all the way around. This is round 19. And this will be our finishing round. And when we're done, once we get back to the beginning, 60 stitches still, we'll end with a slip stitch into our first single crochet, tie off, and hide any remaining tails that we have. Unless you try it on and you want it longer, that's fine, but I think it's plenty long enough for me. But you can always add another round of single crochet if you choose. So I'm going to go ahead and finish this up, and I will meet back up with you once I'm finished and I got my tails hidden, and we'll see how she fits. Okay, she's finished. I like it. I think that the yarn is really pretty. I think it turned out pretty good. Let me give it a go. Let me try it on real quick. See how she fits. Let me turn my camera around. What do you think? I like it. You know, that beanie pattern that I have that is 4-weight is one of my favorite beanies that I've ever done. And then this is the same thing with a few adjustments because it's a bulky weight. You know, I had to leave off a couple rows and do a couple things different, but it's pretty much the same pattern. So yeah, I like it a lot. Plus it's bulkier and it'll be warmer. So remember, if you want to do this in the 5-weight, follow this video. If you want to do it in the 4-weight, I have that in the 4-weight tutorial too. Like I said, I'll put it in the description or comment section or description box or somewhere. It'll be somewhere, the link to that one, in case you decide to do it in a 4-weight if you haven't yet. But I really do like it. I'll probably be wearing it in some of yeah, you probably see me wearing it a lot now. Probably getting sick of that black hat I wear all the time. I don't know why. It's my favorite hat. But this can be my second favorite. So thanks everybody for watching. I hope that you guys enjoyed my tutorial. And, you know, I hope it was easy enough to follow along. And don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button. You've probably seen my face up in the corner somewhere about now. I'm not sure which corner it's up at. If you haven't subscribed, you can kind of just click on my face there, and then you'll be subscribed. Make sure you turn your notifications on so you don't miss any tutorials or any cool yarn content that I have. I have lots of yarn content in case you don't crochet and you don't want to learn, like you knit. I always like to teach people about new yarns and show people new yarns and new yarn stores and stuff. So, but yeah, check out all my hundreds of other tutorials. And until next time, thanks guys for watching. Stay safe. Bye bye.